Hey guys, welcome to a webinar of OpenLM. I'm Sagi. I will be your host for today, where we will go over the embedded and advanced license reporting of OpenLM. Now, basically, what's OpenLM? Why are you here? Well, you want to see some license statistics. You want to see some reporting. You want to know if the amount of licenses that you have is the right amount for you. Let's say you got 20 floating licenses. Well, is it right? Do you need more? Do you need less? So this is exactly what OpenLM aims to do. OpenLM aims to give you the insights that you're looking for. It aims to give you all the statistical information and license usage information that you need in order to make this difficult choice. Because I know and you know that one or two licenses can be expensive. Tens and hundreds of licenses saved can significantly reduce the licensing spend. But how do we do it? First of all, we monitor many different license servers. Like you might have FlexLM, you might have DSLS, you might have RLM, you might have many different types of license managers, and you don't really get any statistical insights out of that. So OpenLM consolidates all of that into one interface and gives you all the statistical information that you need on all the supported license managers. So let's open up the supported license manager list and actually see which license managers OpenLM supports. So we have 35 different license managers that we support. You can see here, well, pretty much all the market leaders, Flexera, FlexLM, RMS, RLM, LMX, MethLM, many different license managers that we support, meaning that we read data from those license managers. So OpenLM monitors those license managers. It allows you to also manage it a little bit. You'll be able to start, stop, upload license files to the license managers. You'll have some control over the license manager remotely. So you got 200 license managers, no problem. It's all in one place. Now you can also automate it. So the system itself tells you that, hey, you have a problem here, you have a license server down, this license is about to expire, many different conditions to help you with automating your licensing system. You can reduce, as we said, reduce license spending, but you can also increase license availability. That means that OpenLM allows you to see exactly how many licenses you need, but you can also use those licenses and increase the availability for your users. That means you have less licenses. Löschen Klum, cannot hear me? Oh, I've been told that I cannot be heard. So let me know if you have a problem hearing me. I'll try to adjust that. No? I can hear perfectly. Okay, it's something with you, I'm sorry, Noah. Okay, they can hear, the clients can hear. Okay, then I'll just continue. Probably we're having some technical issues. I'm not sure about that. If you're having issues, let me know. For what I see, all the participants can hear. Let me know if you can. So going back, what does OpenLM do? Basically, reduce your spending and increase license availability, meaning that you can have less licenses, but utilize them better. Means that you'll spend less and have more people working. It's one thing that OpenLM does really well, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Now, the last thing that OpenLM helps you with is, well, compliance. You'll be compliant. You'll know what you have in your system. You'll know which licenses are used, which licenses are not used. You'll know which license servers you have. You'll be able to track the usage of those licenses so you can be compliant. So you don't have to worry about being audited or different vendors jumping in. Now, I want to now show you the interface because this really tells the story. It really shows what OpenLM does, how OpenLM does it. So this is an OpenLM interface. The basic interface, I got all my different license servers here. I've got MATLAB, Siemens, Autodesk, ArcGIS, many different license servers in different types. And I can see the amount of licenses within them and the amount of used licenses. For example, if I click here, I have 55 licenses from Autodesk. Now that actually translates. I have a few features in there. Each feature has its own amount of licenses and the amount of used licenses. So for example, if I click on 16 here, I got 16 used out of 20. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that Charles, Kenneth, Taj, Summer, all these users are currently using this application, this feature. So I know which workstation they're working from, when they started. I know the group that they're part of, like Chinese pre-sales, Chinese support, marketing management, whatever you have in your Active Directory. I know the duration of the session, and OpenLM can also monitor the idle time of a session. But that's an extension of OpenLM. I'm not going to talk about that. Just going to skim over that and jump ahead. So not only will you know how long it's being used, you'll know how long it's actually being used. But all these usernames, all these sessions, like where are they coming from? Well, the sessions themselves are coming from your license manager. What the license manager outputs is what we take and we put it on table, on charts, and different calculations added to it. But these usernames, the groups, all of that, where did they come from? Well, we can interact with your Active Directory. If you have eDirectory, Active Directory, Novell Directory, we can interact with that. We synchronize all the users, their details, their groups, their structure even. We synchronize everything into OpenLM. Those users can then either just be monitored by OpenLM, or you can even give them access to OpenLM, but you can give different users different things. So different users will be able to see different parts of the interface. Now, of course, that they can all access using their own IIS credentials. It's fully supported. You have your Active Directory credentials. You don't need another password in OpenLM. So that's great. But up until now, we've seen current information. It's live information streaming in, who's using, who's not, and this can scale up. This can scale up big time. Like you have the amount of licenses that you see here is 200. I've got 200 license servers in one place. Now this is a client database that they allowed us to use. And we took this and you'll see some weird names because we cannot show personal information. We can also show server names, a lot of things that we cannot show, but we can show the data. So you'll see a real client database, a real client system. So you see many different types. You've got DSLS, FlexLM, LMX, LSDyna, any of the 35 different license managers that we support. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at statistical information. like current information is great and all, but it doesn't help me decide anything. It helps me to see if there's a problem now, and I know if I'm gonna get a lot of phone calls from people about asking for licenses, but it doesn't help me with any insights that I need. For that, we have license usage report. Now, the license usage report, what it does, it shows you the amount of licenses, of concurrent license usage, and the amount of licenses that you have. For example, you got in this graph, you got 70 seats here. I've got 70 licenses, like 70 seats. And this is the amount of seats used together concurrently. So for example, 12 here, that means 12 users used 12 licenses. So right off the bat, what can we see from this graph? Right off the bat, we can see, oh, at this point in time, well, I was really underusing my license. I got 70, I used it, I don't know, maybe 10, it peaked at like 9, 10, 11 maybe. But as time went on, we see that it jumps. Maybe more projects were added, maybe more clients were added. So it even gets to a point where it's maxing out right here. It even maxed out. Now, when users get maxed out, what happens? Well, they start getting denied. And once they get denied, they pretty much do nothing because they try to get the license. Now, this can be shown also as a heat map, not only as a graph, as you see. Now, the heat map will allow us to get a bird's eye view of the whole week, of the whole month. We'll be able to see exactly how our license is utilized. So for example, here you can see like 7 until 4, we got most of the usage, and it's between the working days, like Monday through Friday. We see that Saturday and Sunday, well, pretty much all green. So what about this? What about the part here when users start getting denied? What can we do with that? Because, well, taking a look at this graph, we instantly see if we're using it right, if we have a healthy license. Maybe we have a lot of licenses and we're just not using it ever. So this can tell us, but what happens after it gets maxed out? Well, then you can take a look at the denials report. You see the amount of denials that you have. You can aggregate the amount in different ways, like by user, by group, by server, by feature, and see the amount of denials that happened, of denied events. Now, you can also see a table here of all the different denials, why they happen, their reasons, and from that, you can, of course, export it, play around with the data, and tell exactly what you'll need beyond the amount that you have. You have 10, well, how many do you need? Do you need 20 or do you need 11? So this will help you decide that. But that's not enough because this tells us the health of our license. This tells us what happened after we maxed out the license, but this, the license utilization report, really tells the story of OpenLM, like in one picture. It allows you to set a quality of service line. Quality of service, that means your quality to your end users. So 95% means that 95% of the times end users will get the license. 5% of the times they'll statistically get denied. 95% of the times they'll try to get a license, they'll get it. So if I set this to 95%, then this line tells me that I only need 45 licenses. I don't need 70 licenses as I have here. I only need 45. Now, that's a huge reduction. But let's say we want to consider only the working hours, ignore the weekends. And let's see what happens then. Well, we still get a reduction in cost. We need 57 licenses in order to achieve that. That's 13 licenses less than what I have. Now each license for each feature can get costly, as you know. So what we usually see is anywhere between 15 to 30% reduction in cost in the major features. Now we can take a look at this from another direction, except if we can tell how many licenses we need, then OpenLM can also tell us how many licenses we don't actually need. Licenses not in use report tells you the amount of licenses that were just not used. For example, this feature, I've got 35 licenses that were just never used. I don't need to buy this feature. Maybe I don't need to buy this amount of licenses. I can instantly drop 35 licenses out of that. Now this can tell me which features within a package, if they're used or not. This tells me if there's a certain server, maybe I can decommission that because no license from that server is ever used. So decommission the server. Now, that's basically what OpenLM aims to do. And now you can really see why I told you that the reports really tell a story. It tells the story of what's going on right now in your entire system. It tells you how far you are from maxing out your licenses, meaning if the amount of licenses that you have is actually the correct amount. It tells you what happens after you've actually maxed out those licenses, gives you the denials. But it can also tell you the amount of licenses that you need. It can pinpoint the amount of licenses that you need in order to get a certain quality of service. Now, besides that, we can also show you the amount of time per user and the amount of idle time per user. As I said before, for example, in license activity, we are able to see all the activity in all the sessions for all the features in OpenLM. That was captured by OpenLM. Now we can filter it to our heart's desires, the feature, user, whatever we choose. But OpenLM also has advanced options for it. So taking you back to the presentation, let's take a look at what you need first to set up in order to have OpenLM. So that's pretty basic. We got the OpenLM brokers, which will be spread out across the license servers. And we got the OpenLM server. That will be a one central server that all the brokers will send data to. Now, in order to get advanced functionalities, advanced reporting functionalities, we have the extension called Reporting Hub, which allows you to get the data into a BI tool, business intelligence tool. Basically, we get the data of OpenLM from the OpenLM databases through a reporting ETL to a reporting database, any one of these. Now on that reporting database, you can just use any business intelligence tool and you can generate these reports, which are custom made and especially what you desire, because we have a lot of users that ask us, hey, can I have this report? Can I have that report? And each client wants their own report. So we decided to just export all the data into a reporting database, and using a BI tool, each client can generate their own unique report to exactly what they need. So let's check that out. Let's see that in action as well. So this is a report loaded with data from OpenLM. So it houses a really simple dimension and measure structure, which is pretty much the industry standard by now. You got all the different dimensions that you'll need, license, user, everything. And you got all the different measures that you'll need, like idle time, session durations, denials, concurrent usage, license quantity, and so on. But what do we get at the end? What can you do with this? How can you extend the reporting functionalities of OpenLM? So you got the reports of OpenLM, but you can also create reports like this, for example, which is denials report that counts the amount of denied users. For example, you got here 29 denials, but does that mean you need 29 more licenses, or does that mean that you only need 4 more licenses because only 4 users got denied? It's 4 users that each one clicked it a few times, try and get a license. You can generate these types of tables where you can filter everything out and get calculated information like the amount of checkouts, denials, transactions, how many denied users, how many denials per user, the denials ratio, and so on. You can create aggregated license activity report like this one, for example, session duration, maximum duration, average duration, everything. Just see all the unused applications, all users that didn't use, all groups that didn't use, all the licenses that are about to expire. You can pretty much play with it to your heart's desire. You get these sample reports, yes, but you can create your own reports. And basically, as I said, each client wants a different thing, so you can basically create your own custom report and have it automatically generated, and you get exactly what you or management needs. And well, that's basically it. That's all I want to show you today. I really don't want to overload you with information. OpenLM has a lot. OpenLM has 13 different extensions to offer, many different reports that we didn't go over. But really, I really want to show you what OpenLM can do, as we say, OpenLM in a nutshell. But now what I want is for you to express your opinions, ask any questions. You can use the GoToWebinar questions box. I see two already used it. Go ahead, ask anything you'd like. I'm here for the next 10 minutes. Anything you'd like to ask, go ahead. I'd like to have a discussion if you'd like. But if not, and if this is enough for you, then I would thank you very much for joining me on my webinar today. I hope it was informative. I hope you understood what OpenLM does, even if it's on the tip, just the tip of OpenLM. But if you would like to know more, just send us an email. You can send us an email to support@OpenLM or to sales@OpenLM. You can call us up over the chat in our website, and we'll be happy to help with any issue. So go ahead, the floor is yours. And we already have a question. Let's see. Chris is asking, how do the user groups get populated? Okay, so user groups can be populated in many different ways. First of all, as you've said, Active Directory groups, OU groups. Indeed, you can get an OU and call it a group in OpenLM. You can get all these security groups in OpenLM and also get them into the OpenLM group set. You can also add this manually in the interface. You can also add like a CSV file with all the groups and users that you have. You can also group them using your options file. If you group using options file, you can also do that. So any which way you'd like, either manual, options files, using Active Directory. Most of our clients just use Active Directory synchronization because it just synchronizes it automatically. Okay, I have another question. Does each extension include an additional cost? If so, is it per user or per server? So it depends on which extension we're talking about. The extensions basically are added costs to the core product. The core product is what you've seen, the reporting capabilities, the monitoring capabilities, and a little bit of management and automation capabilities. But if you'd like, for example, to find out which session is idling and then kill the session, save the work and kill the session remotely, then that requires an extension and it has its own pricing. If you'd like to connect to have different roles in OpenLM, like different users will be able to access different parts of OpenLM, that's another extension, which is like a flat fee. But I would suggest to contact sales on that matter and have them issue you a quota for a quote for what you need, and maybe for the different extensions that you can ask for them. Okay, I have a question from Eric. Oh, hey Eric. Denial, is there a way to dynamically suspend job from users that are off hours? There's no option to suspend a job if the user is not off hours, but there is an option to prevent an application from opening in the first place. In any case, Eric, I suggest we take this offline. We talk about any issues you might be wanting to solve using OpenLM, and we can work on it together if you like. But as a flat answer, no, we can't suspend if it's outside of working hours. Chris is asking, can the reports be scheduled? So yeah, the reports can indeed be scheduled. Let me take you to the interface. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Okay, what about now? Can you hear me? Great. Okay, so sorry about that, having some technical issues. It always happens during presentations. I'm really sorry about it. So if we go to any report in OpenLM, we go to share here, we can schedule it. Either just share the link, share by email, or just have it scheduled. Once you schedule it, you can just send it to any email automatically. You can do it like every Monday, every Sunday, just every hour, whatever you need. You can just schedule it. And this is one of the ways that you can automate OpenLM. Have it send all the reports to you, so you don't even have to go into OpenLM. And you can set different alerts, so you don't even have to go check the OpenLM system. It tells you if there's a server down, it tells you if someone is using for too long, it tells you if you have a license file that's about to expire. So yeah, there are a few ways to automate OpenLM, and Scheduling reports is one of them. Thank you for that question. Sorry for the technical issues. If you have anything else, shoot, I'm here. Happy to help, Brett. Actually, a lot of users didn't know about the scheduling capabilities of OpenLM. It's a real useful one, but you'll need to download the scheduler. If you go to the OpenLM website, go to Downloads, Client area, then scrolling down, you'll be able to see the report scheduler. One moment, there we go. Report scheduler. You'll just need to download it, place it on the same server as OpenLM server, and double click, install, next, next, next. If you write in the OpenLM search, reports scheduler, then you should be able to find install and configure report scheduler. Now this has a video where you can watch with this nice guy. It just goes over configuring and installing the report scheduler. But if you have any issues, just let us know. Call us up. You can either do it, go to our contact us, as you know, support@openlm.com. You can also call us up in one of these numbers. And maybe you didn't know, you can also click here and you can get to a chat with us. You can get a chat window and you start chatting with us, like best and fastest option. I have Amanda asking about the BI tool. So the BI tool is an additional cost, indeed. Depends on what you mean. The reporting hub extension itself, the ability to take the data and transfer it to a reporting database, as you see here. So this is an extension of OpenLM. It's an extra cost to the base product. But the Power BI itself, the BI tool that you've seen, this basically. So this is a Microsoft tool. It's a free Microsoft tool. You can use this. You can use Tableau. You can use Click, CSense, any BI tool that you need. You can even access it using just editors, like even the SQL Server editor. Just access it, get the data. It's a database. You can access anything basically. We use Power BI because we think it's the best BI tool out there, with the best options and the easiest to connect. But you can use any BI tool you'd like, no problem. Is the scheduler available for SaaS? I believe not. I will have to check that though. If it was on me, I'm sure it will be implemented. Please send an email to support. I'll make sure to get this to the right hands. Okay, then thank you all, guys. Really, it was a really nice webinar. Thank you all for the questions, for attending. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next webinar. We now have a new chain of webinars. It's basically going over the same OpenLM, but in different views, in different angles. Then that's it. Thank you. Bye.